these sanctuary cities are going to harbor and conceal criminally illegal aliens from ICE, which is in direct violation of Title 8 of the U.S. Code, federal arrest warrants should be issued for their elected officials. Our nation would be better off and our citizens would be safer if we never stopped enforcing immigration law and if we never formed or turned a blind eye towards sanctuary cities.
Testifying on the Hill yesterday, Sheriff Thomas Hodgson of Bristol County, Massachusetts, said arrest warrants should be issued for sanctuary city mayors and leaders who refuse to enforce federal immigration laws. Here's what's going on. The mayors of New York City, Chicago, and Los Angeles have all said they will not cooperate with immigration authorities, even though the Department of Justice Inspector General Loretta Lynch said they are breaking the law. Sheriff Thomas Hodgson joins me now. Sheriff, do you think it's really possible to arrest individuals like this?
Well, Liz, I think it's possible, whether you're a mayor or you're a private citizen. If you violate federal law, of course it's possible, and it should be carried out. Otherwise, the people of our country begin to think that the laws don't really matter, and they do.
You know, the D.C. interim police chief, Sheriff, I'd like your reaction to this. He's telling residents that D.C. will be an inclusive city under President Trump. Let's take a listen.
Our job is to enforce the laws of the District of Columbia, and we are not local ICE officials.
We believe that the enforcement of civil immigration laws creates a divide between us and the community we serve. And at the end of the day, we believe that will make our community less safe. And as the chief of police, I don't think I should be involved in any behavior that makes our city less safe.
What is your reaction to that, sir?
Well, the only divided portion of this would be that if you followed the immigration law, you could divide the criminals from the law-abiding people. And this suggestion that somehow, if you heard what they said, we think this will make our city less safe. Look, following the laws is exactly what every law enforcement person in this country swore to do, and the public are counting on us to do it. We made a promise to them that we would enforce the laws. We don't make the laws, but we need to enforce them. And the day that law enforcement starts saying, well, we're not going to do this, or it's really, as the chief had said, well, look, this is a ICE operation, it's a federal operation. Well, if that's the case, then are they willing to take all their officers off the federal task forces, the Joint Terrorism Task Force for the FBI, the DEA task force? Of course not. And we shouldn't be doing it in any instance where we have federal law enforcement authorities who have reason to pursue people, particularly criminally illegal aliens, and then say we're not going to cooperate to help them identify who those people are or where they are.
You know, sir, here's another story I'd like your reaction on. A Massachusetts lawmaker posted an online warning to illegal immigrants about an upcoming ICE raid in the area. Let's take a listen. I'd like your thoughts.
To see the issue with spreading a rumor?
No, I don't. It's information in my community.
Do you see how this could be also construed as fear-mongering if you didn't have it confirmed that ICE? Why not?
I just don't. I've read my statement.
All right, she's from your home state of Massachusetts. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, first of all, she really needs to think about whether or not she's capable of being an elected representative of the people. She really needs to think about stepping down. Secondly, at a minimum, the state legislature ought to file some ethics investigation against her at a minimum. And frankly, when we have elected officials who are undermining law enforcement and putting our officers at risk, when we need the element of surprise to go after these transnational gang members, the MS-13 and others who are doing sex trafficking, dealing drugs, smuggling drugs, on and on and on. These are the people we're targeting. And for her to give notice that we were coming could not only set the officers up to be seriously injured or killed because these guys are vicious gang members who are would be waiting in the wings for these officers to show up, and or allowing some of these criminals to be able to avoid being apprehended and go off into some other community where they're going to victimize more and more people. That's as irresponsible of any elected official in office that I could ever imagine.